Just coaching Dark Force here, Europe Dark Force, and they have a scrim, and I believe they're trialing out some members. So we're just gonna see if I can help out here. I don't exactly know who's being on trials, so we'll just go ahead and get this started.
Okay, good.
I believe it's this side of the team.
Alright, I got this. Right then. No, it's Ilias, okay.
Okay, Ash. Oh, Ash isn't. Oh boy. Okay.
All right, and we're gonna play here, guys.
Go.
Lucio Moira. Lucio Moira to begin with.
Anyone knows how to play the May and Doomfist?
Maybe.
So typically on this map, I think the Lucio Moira is a good pick. I especially like Lucio on this map just because you can really utilize the boops. So if anything, you could probably even run a hog here too.
Yeah.
But it looks like you guys are going to use Zarya and Rhine, which is fine still because you guys have heroes who are going to mostly stay on the ground if besides Genji here. So this Moira and Lucio pick is going to be fine.
Do you think Reaper would be fine?
Wait, I'm spectating. What the fuck?
Yeah, Reaper would be perfect.
Okay, here we have to get us on the points. And then we brawl on the points.
Okay.
And then we kill them on the points.
I will mute myself so I don't tell you guys anything.
Alright, there you go, there you go. We're going different direction, we're going different direction. Speed, but we're not together, okay.
This is good that you guys are kind of telling your team that you're going different directions. Your Lucio needs to stay with the team a little bit here. You guys are doing fine right now.
Okay. Trace is coming in. Trace is...
Yeah, just fight on points.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. Alright, again, focus down tanks first.
Ferris outside point on the right. On the right, on the right.
Fire Mercy behind us. Fire Mercy behind us. Fire Mercy behind us. Yeah, good. Help.
Mercy's on the left.
Winston's dead.
Oh, okay. Fire's up. Fire's above.
I can't heal you if you shield.
Trace is dead. Trace is dead.
You guys are doing really good.
Nice one. Okay.
When Lucio dies, just make sure that the healers just do say that you guys are down, just so that the other healer knows that they need to pick it up, and also that the team can play a little bit more reserved.
I'm with you guys.
Okay, let's hold the choke. Winston buff.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, Winston above. Get back, NG. Yeah, good man.
No, they have Winston. We have no mobility. We have to fight close to points.
I would say if this Pharah does become an issue, then maybe Genji would need to switch off to like a hit scan.
Yeah, just stay here on points.
The balconies? Yeah. Alright. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. Okay.
Shield's breaking as walls.
Really good job of retreating back to the point. At this point, their team has basically grouped up by now.
Fire above. She's low. Nice. Okay.
Mercy's coming in on the point. Mercy left. Mercy's half.
I'm dead.
Mercy dead. Yeah. Nice.
You guys are playing a little bit spread out here. Somebody needs to call out the Steve on point. There we go.
Deeper bind point.
Steve, it's behind. Yeah. I hear you. She's low. She's out Mac.
She's jumping off. Oh no, she's not. Nice.
I punched her. Okay. Right. Yeah. Stay this angle.
I got shatter. We can let them come in, and I shatter them.
Cool.
Okay. I'm not gonna use my graft on them.
Winston top left. He's jumping in.
Winston above.
He's above us.
We got firing in.
Can you grab?
You know what? I would say your Genji should just switch off anyways. Just because I think you can get down more kills this way. Your team is really spread out right now. Well, I guess only Genji is, but Genji, if your team is playing on point, and I would just stick with the team right now.
I'm low.
One here.
I'm gonna try and boop Roadhog. No.
Your tanks are doing really good at staying in front of the team here.
Behind.
Oh, hog flick.
Far behind.
Get that hog. He's the one putting pressure on. So you got. Okay, so you got monkey and a hog on point. Monkey hog point.
Shit, he threw me off the points.
That was good.
That's okay, guys. We got 99. No need to hold the point.
Good job, Moira. Just knowing that a monkey is like the monkey was in ult mode. It's good that she kind of left the point because she didn't want to risk getting booped off.
Okay, we just have to.
At this point, like your healers just need to play more selfishly, which I think your Moira did a really good job at. Because you guys weren't gonna win that that point at that.
Just bless everything.
I'm behind Lucio.
Sounds good.
Let's go left side, left side.
Yep.
You guys are pretty lucky that that they switched off of Mercy, so their Pharah is basically kind of useless right now.
Go, 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 go.
Now, Lucio, you need to wait for your team before you just go in. You have speed boost on, but you can afford to still stay behind your tanks.
Okay, Hammond point, Hammond point. Oh god.
I got pooped off.
Nice.
I can get back.
And then make sure if you guys do die, that you make sure you just say, or if you need heals, that you guys just mention who you guys are. Especially if you guys are running like trial members and new teams, I would just get used to it because it's really hard for your healers to pay attention to who these people are.
On our left, on our left.
Just make sure if you say like Reaper needs heals or Reaper bounced off.
Coming after me, yeah. There, the next one. Okay, Farah's shooting in, Farah's shooting in. Just make sure you don't get one point. Yeah, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna speed boost and then get aggro here, right?
Nice.
Is it me or is it the game slightly lagging? Not. Alright, fair enough.
Alright, let's go.
I think you guys did a pretty good job here. I think you guys can focus a little bit better on your target calling. There's a lot of people calling targets, and then also like not too many people are following up on the same target. So maybe just designate one of your tank players to be the target caller.
Winston low, Winston low. Right side.
Lucius behind us.
We've got triple tank, we've got triple tank.
Orisa, Orisa.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm gonna back it up a little bit because
We've got
I think I was staring at the wrong team at the start of this map.
Right side.
Alright, lagging. Not. Alright, fair enough.
Alright, let's go.
I'm coming from the right side.
They're far as well. Winston right side high ground. They have Orisa, Reinhardt, Winston. Winston right, Winston right.
Oh, that was so close. Okay. Woohoo! Great.
Winston low, Winston low.
Okay, I think your Lucio did realize he kind of overextended a little bit. At the beginning of these fights, as Lucio, just stay with your team for now. Once you guys have cleared the map, then you can kind of work your way around to this side of the wall right here, and then just bounce back and forth and wait for them to come out, because then that way you can boop them off. But for now, it's just kind of risky to push all the way that far. Just wait for the fights, or wait for like a couple of picks.
Oh, really? Okay. They're not really pressuring me too much. Okay, we've got two tanks behind. Two tanks in the backline. Two tanks in the backline. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Mercy, I want you to start using boost a little bit more. As you notice, like I think you had. Let's just rewind it a little bit here. But you had your heal beam. Here we go. You have your heal beam right here on your Pharah. Your Pharah has full health, so you don't need to have the. If anything, you should be healing like your tanks. But if you had just boosted your Pharah instead of using heals, like you're still using heals right now, then you can let your Pharah do a lot more damage.
Let's group up.
I think Mercy's damage boost is kind of underrated in this tier. They don't really realize like how much you can use. You have no point in healing. Like right now you're still on heal beams. Make sure you just switch to damage boost more.
Winston above, right
Monkey's
side.
back.
Okay, Ryan's dead. Ryan's dead. Ryan's dead. Ryan's dead. Ryan's dead.
I'm down. Mercy down.
I'm distracting. I'm distracting the
I'm
reset.
gonna ult. I'm gonna ult. I'm gonna ult. Behind them.
I'm with the
Monkey
reset.
is ult.
I'm distracting the reset.
You guys need to wait for like a full regroup to push in, because right now you're a little bit trickling, and the team is really taking advantage of that.
Oh, I fucking missed my hook by an inch. Goddamn it.
Okay, that's.
Monkey's
We're
still
not really on
behind
point.
us.
We're not really on point here, to be honest. Like.
Farah, can you fly up so I can fly to you?
I tried, but I had it on cooldown. I didn't have any fuel.
Okay.
That wasn't that bad.
Oh no, I'm dead.
Ryan, shot.
I'm gonna pause it for a second here. I don't know. I can't really tell if you guys because it's hard to tell in this camp, but I'm hoping one of you guys are tabbing to see what the other team is playing. And you can tell by just playing against them, but it's not as effective as just tabbing, right? Because if you tab, you're gonna notice like they're running 2 main tanks, and they both have a shit ton of health. Oh, they're running 3 main tanks, okay? But we don't have anybody to deal with that. So ideally, you need the soldier for Pharah, right? So you want to maybe take out Pharah and run Reaper, because it's been 50% and nobody has made really switches to take care of this. Right now, the problem too with their 3 main tanks is that they have a ton of health, and their tanks have not gone down at all. And running like Mercy and Lucio, that's not going to provide their tank teams like too much health if you guys just took advantage of that. So definitely make sure you guys identify the team comps that the other team is running moving forward, and then also like who is carrying the team for them. Right now, definitely the tanks are carrying their team. So just make sure you guys pay attention to that kind of stuff so you can make switches immediately and not wait until it's like past the 50% mark.
Charge to our spawn. Can you get him? Can we get?
Yeah, you get him. Nice.
Okay, push.
Let's go.
Risky play, Mercy.
Or is wait up.
Let's get to it. Yeah, okay, you got monkey high ground on the right side. Monkey high ground.
I have charger.
I have Valk.
You can get it, Roadhog. Yeah, nice one. Okay, let's get the monkey.
Monkey ulting.
Kill the monkey.
I'm not I'm not hearing it is called monkey as alt, but monkey is probably the least of your problems unless you have a Reaper to deal with them. Right now you guys don't, so you guys really have to take advantage of taking down the squishies, which I'm not hearing like anybody calling out Mercy, Lucio, or Pharah really. Really these two are your Mercy and Lucio are your two the only 2 I would say that are keeping your tanks up, right? So as soon as one of them goes down, everybody kind of will start going down, but you guys are targeting the wrong people, because I think their tanks are just so big physically in size that you guys are kind of getting blindsided and not focusing on the smaller targets.
Okay, sorry about that. Oh, no. Okay, get the Ryan.
So good job, Pharah.
Ryan, we can still kill him. He's low.
Come
Nice.
to point.
Yep.
Lucio's on point.
Just Lucio now. Can we cap?
Nice.
Yeah, that will go.
So you guys kind of won the fight. You guys can afford to push up a little bit because they're kind of staggered right now. So Pharah, I would say, Pharah to really take advantage, just poke out so you just can get your ult charge a little bit faster. Because now you guys gave them time to kind of go on point, and then now you guys are basically being pushed off. And your team is really separated, which just makes it really hard for your Mercy to kind of heal anyone. Actually, your Mercy is not really healing anyone besides Pharah at that point. I don't know if it's because the team is just really spread out or what. But you guys need to make sure that oh, you guys have a DC too, so that's not cool. I'm gonna rewind it a bit so you guys can kind of see what I was talking about here. Let's go back to the part where you guys won it.
You heard the man. Play around the actual lighthouse.
Behind.
Ryan, we can still kill him. He's low.
Come
Nice.
to point.
Yep.
Lucio's on point.
Just Lucio now. Can we cap?
Nice.
Yeah, that will go. Okay, try to...
So when it's down to like 2 people too, make sure you guys call out the targets. Like I know you guys were calling, so it was just Lucio and Ryan, right? Ryan was low, so I guess that's probably why you guys went for him first. But then Lucio kind of skirted around, and then I don't know if you guys forgot about him or not, because like your team just kind of left and just let him kind of go down, like just skirt around a little bit. Luckily, you guys were able to kill him, so now he's staggered. So at this point here, you guys killed the last person on the team. You look at this, they have like, their teams are kind of staggered, right? They have one, and then like another one, the next person closest to him is pretty far, and then this guy's still like walking up the stairs on that side, right? So your tanks, Hog is probably in the good place. Hog should probably stand right here to get any hooks on either side, or hooks on this side, but then can also hear if anybody's coming this way. And then your Orisa ideally stands a little bit closer up here, because right now they're so close to like capping the percentage that you guys just want to make sure you stall them from coming in as much as you can. But right now you guys are playing back here, which gives them time to walk all the way over here and then like have time to like gather up as a full 6 before you go. And then I don't know what Lucio's doing over here. Probably getting either like scouting or trying to get some boops from that side, but it's easier to get boops if you're just riding the wall back and forth right here, because it's harder for them to see you. They also can't do anything about you because they don't have sight lines on you. So so just make sure you position yourselves a little bit better in this particular instance. But here you guys kind of get ran over because they just kind of like pushed you out.
Alright, fellas, just don't get into the land side of Farah.
Yep. Alright, you heard the man. Play around the actual
Monkey's
lighthouse.
behind, monkey's behind.
Okay, there's Ryan coming in. Help our Orisa. Who's AFK.
So here you guys are like super spread out. And like the way the healers in your team is positioned is not really helping anyone. So let's just see, like you have Reaper up here, but Reaper can fade, so the most he can fade is like into the buildings. So I would, if he's in trouble, then he needs to fade into the buildings, so that's the only cover he has, since like you don't really have any other cover. The Hog, is that a Hog? Yeah, the Hog is playing back here, which is also in the same position as like Reaper. If you need health, then you eat your own health back and then you come into here, right? But your healers and your main tank is playing back here, so that forces like these guys all to kind of back down. So now they're pushing forward, and then these guys over here, nobody's calling out targets really.
You're standing still there for a second. Oh.
So you guys are like super spread out. At that point you guys really like, especially when they're playing such a weird comp, you really can't afford to be this spread out. I think that's probably on your healers to kind of gather the group up. If your tanks don't call that out, then like Mercy, especially Mercy, would need to be the one to just be like, I can't heal you guys when you guys are over there, please group up, and really make that vocal known.
You know, left. He's bipped off. No, he's not. Oh.
I also want to point out too, I think like your Lucio could be a little bit more effective with the team, but I think he's like just looking for boofs for the most part. So but because Mercy, just know when you guys are playing this comp, like with a Pharah, Mercy's gonna want to stay with Pharah, so it's gonna be like hard to unless Mercy kind of ignores the Pharah and lets Pharah do its own thing. She should be watching these guys right here, unless you have a better unless your Lucio's really sticking with your ground heroes here. But because he's not, Mercy's kind of working in double time.
Win rate on Reinhardt, I think, is very good, like 75% or something.
Also, let's talk about like they're at 68% and they've got the map right now, basically, right? So everybody needs to be switching. I know you guys are on pause right now.
Take them out of the
Let me, so here we go again. You guys are on pause right now, but you guys, since there's 98%, you're basically already lost your first map. So wait, no, you guys won it. But you guys are about to lose this one. Everybody needs to switch off to anything that can get you there faster. In like this small chance that you guys do get there faster in like 2%. So despite like where your ults are at, Mercy, I guess you can stay because you just Valk in. But like Hog, unfortunately, you're like at 99%. You're probably back in the spawn. Unfortunately, you just have to switch off because you can't get there like in time to use your ult. So switch to Hammond or Diva or Winston. Any of your tanks need to switch to one of those three. Reaper and your Pharah to Doom and Tracer. You guys, you guys can even go 3 tanks at that point. You just need any stall heroes to get there faster. And it's definitely Lucio's job to get you guys there right now. But right now, with the paused, it's hard to tell, but Lucio's on speed boost and is only speed boosting Mercy. So make sure you speed boost the entire team.
Our last season was 70%, so I'm gonna play Reinhold.
I think that's more of like a team decision.
Alright, Ash says that the game is paused for a bit, so we'll just fast forward. I would say even like, let me just see like at what point they actually take it back. This is quite a long pause, you're right. So let's just see what percentage they actually capped it at. It's got to be at 92, right? Because they pushed you guys out. So right here, as soon as you guys had died and lost it, you guys should have switched off of heroes.
Yes, I'm not warmed up, and I haven't.
This is another great Lucio map. Not for the boops necessarily, but these pillars serve as great like escape plans for Lucio if you really know how to ride the walls, because then you can just stay in the air forever by just rotating and playing these and playing around the corners. It's really hard to get you. Playing Zen is fine too though.
Tracer behind us.
Yep.
Whoa, did it just happen there?
Yep.
Tracer behind us.
I think it was just a cut.
Tracer behind us.
Yep.
You got me. We're in it.
Okay, Moira's Discord.
Goes to the call, she's still in the back.
No, behind me.
So Moira, Moira's a girl, right? I would say like even in like situations where you might be the only girl playing, still get used to saying that your Moira's down. You just want to really get in the habit of that, just in case like in the future, like you guys do have more than one girl or something playing. You just want to make sure you guys getting used to calling your own heroes out. So like you died, and you tell the team that you're down, they know, that forces them to know that Zen is their only healer, so they can kind of like play around that a little bit better, or they can just lose it immediately, right? And just wait for a full regroup, because now you guys are staggering yourselves and wasting time.
Where's the Widowmaker?
I'm full charge.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
We
sorry,
won't be
I
able
got
to do
super
anything because
confused
we
there.
were all dead.
Yeah, but
Listen,
next
right
fight
behind
I'll do.
Oh wait, they didn't cap points, so we can't waste any time. Let's go.
Okay, that Winston's up top left. By
Somebody
the
up.
way.
Sorry, I'm gonna just I'm trying to see if Brotherhood. Okay, so Brotherhood. was Soldier and then switched to McCree.
They're playing left side mainly.
Para 1.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reset.
That's a good call. Actually, Brotherhood switched to McCree, I'm assuming, because he died to like, Tracer, and so he wants to make sure that he can kill Tracer by using McCree, but also still being able to play hitscan against the Pharah.
We can't waste time. Let's
Okay,
give...
that Winston's up top left, by
Somebody
the
on
way.
right.
He seems to be very, he's very...
You guys are
running.
now with a full
See if there's
regroup, so
where
that's
you're going,
good.
I'm staying right next to you.
Okay,
Oh.
ooh, well,
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna stay with Ryan Spark. Okay, there's...
Tracers on us.
Wow, they didn't
You gotta
even
Winston.
cap it, so you guys got really lucky, actually.
Oh,
Okay,
let's start
nice
pushing.
one. Let's
Let's start
get
pushing.
aggressive. Let's get
Fada's
aggressive.
just
They should have capped it, and then like they would have had like 10% by now at least.
Okay, Tracer's gone back. Tracer's gone back.
Yeah, she's running back. She doesn't have
Alright,
blinks.
so go,
but
one.
she's not gonna
Nice
engage.
one,
Got a
nice one.
pick.
Okay, there's, what do you call it?
I don't have
Fire,
flash, I
fire,
can't
fire.
beat her.
Monkey's still behind.
Fire's right side? Fire's above now. Okay,
Nice.
so yeah, Discord at left side. So
We
you
lost
don't
McCree. They lost
There's a lot of
Monkey on me and Ryan.
like chattering going on, so you guys really need to determine who's going to be the shot caller.
Dead, Monkey's dead. Nice one, nice one. Get more now. More is the... There's Zen Discord. There's pressure.
I think like, yeah, so ideally, your shot callers, okay, shot callers come in two. There's going to be a shot caller for calls that are like team based. So that would be like if the team needs to completely reset or the team needs to switch something to deal with something. That is a team shot caller. And then you have a target shot caller, and the target shot caller just calls for targets they think need to go down first. And those targets would always almost be a squishy or somebody that is keeping like a carry alive or something like that, you know? So between those two, ideally, one of your healers, and it's almost always going to be your off healer, who's going to be the target. The team caller, and then the target caller will almost always be one of your tanks. And the reason why these are separated that way, because your off healer typically has the biggest, best overview picture of the entire team because they're standing pretty far back. Plus, they're always monitoring your guys' health, so they know. Especially the other team's carries are probably always going to be on them, so they're going to know who the other team carries are, so they're going to know who should be switching off. So that's why your off healer would be the ideal team caller, and then your tanks would be your ideal shot callers for targets because they're like at the upfront, they get the upfront picture, so they're going to be the ones who are going to be attacking someone like at the first shot. This person would likely be your off tank, just because your main tank you probably want to keep in front of the entire team. Your off tank will be the one to kind of be able to help your main tank and also be able to peel, so they can call out both sides.
Nice one. Okay. Who's
Stay
behind?
close to the
Moira?
walls, don't peek.
Okay, nice one. Okay, Tracer dead.
They have someone in the back.
So it sounds like you guys really just need to work on like which targets to call out, because you guys do call out targets, but you don't call out the right targets. So you would always kill like you guys don't tend to go for the healers as much for some reason.
I'm gonna use walls.
Left side, Winston.
Monkey's on our left.
Winston got a headshot. Get him,
So this
get him,
is
get him.
good that you guys are pushing forward, and this is a perfect spot to stop too, is right here, because you guys can always retreat back if you need to.
He's behind us.
He's used to flag.
Your healers need to get used to calling out for peels, because especially when they're getting called, when they're getting like attacked, they need to actually say like that the healers are getting attacked, so your like team can fall back and like actually help you out there.
Nice. Okay, Widowmaker up.
Your Widow's doing work right now though.
With a one.
Discord monkey. Okay, Widowmaker and me.
Widow is at the low ground, just...
Yep, Discord her. Killed her
Nice.
again. What do you got?
You're doing
Get
great.
back. Sorry. Yeah. Good man. Okay. Discord.
Zari, you were doing really good with targeting the right person, but you didn't call it out, so your team didn't follow up on it. And then you were, since like you were like the only one on him, his team like already came up and helped him. So next time, just like call out who you're on, and just be like Zen is by himself, and then your team can kind of push up a little bit and help you out there.
Monkey is on top left.
Farah heal.
Okay, good stuff.
I can hear him.
Hammond coming in. Hammond.
Yeah, Monkey's coming from left side. The Tracer is from left side as well.
Good job, Brotherhood, identifying the monkey ahead of time like that. Your team had time to come back a little bit, but unfortunately didn't really hear you.
Farah's right of point.
Music being C9, music being C9. Okay, there we go.
Wow, you guys need better awareness, or somebody needs to call out once they're dead in the back before you guys like just completely lose it.
Let's just get back.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about, is the team reset caller. Your Zen needs to identify, like, you guys had basically lost this point. So right here, you guys are too spread out really, so you have 3 against like 5 people over here. Then as soon as that happens, you guys have a little bit of time anyways to catch up. Your Zen needs to just call for reset so that everybody either dies really quickly or they just run back. But right now, like, you guys are just like stalling a little bit, and there's really no reason to stall because you guys are just like staggering yourselves.
Watch out for the pharaohs.
Tracer left, behind us.
Coming from the left side, too fast, be ready. Oh, nice, Darcy, good job.
Well, see,
Going left.
I told
The
you.
monkey doesn't have jump, can we see him?
Yep.
Pressure him, but
I'm gonna focus Farah.
Got him.
nice, good job.
Nice.
Keep
Farah's
the
on
push
the
up.
left.
The fat is on right side.
Farah right side.
I'm
Put
still
the
behind
healing
this.
next to Sen, just use the healing next to Sen. Fata is
Okay.
retreated, she doesn't want to get taken more damage.
Like, whoever's over here,
Oh, Tracer on me.
you guys should have called that person out. Like, what's a Farah in there?
The Fat is on our widow in the back.
Okay, Moria dead. Moria dead.
I'm pressuring her with you.
Got it.
Nice, good job.
Monkey's on point.
Hammond is on your soldier in the back.
I'm dead. Okay. Anna,
The
Discord.
Anna is in the back. Oh,
Yeah, make sure that Anna dies because she is. Yeah, no, never mind. I'll make sure of it then.
Yeah, she's down.
Yeah, Winston though. There you go. Nice one.
Just saying, you guys had 6 people there. That Winston should have gone down a lot faster. So at this point, you guys should all really kind of push up a little bit and make sure, like, if it's Widow that's staying back here, that they call out somebody's on point so that you guys can fall back.
Where is he? There, dead. Okay.
Got him.
Winston.
I'm gonna attack Vice from behind.
Nice one. She's gonna
Anna's
die.
coming into point. Nice.
We can kill her.
Time
Nice
to
one.
find her. Nice, GG.
Good job.
Oh god, it's annoying playing DPS.
I know, right?
I wonder if I got play the game.
I think that was
Warrior ranks.
it, right?
That means that my internet is fucking with me.
I think it was just one map. I don't know which ones are new and which ones aren't, but I think like some of the things that you guys need to work on are the target calling a little bit better. Identify who the target callers are and whose roles are going to be what on that. Your tanks seemed like they were doing fine. They were honestly working pretty well together. Your DPS do need to work on communicating with each other to determine who should be switching off to deal with carries better. You guys do pretty good with switching to deal with individual people like the McCree. You had switched Brotherwood. Wow, I've been pronouncing it wrong the whole time. Brotherwood switched to McCree to deal with the Tracer, which was good. But then you guys aren't consistent with doing that too much. So I think you guys are good at like picking certain things, but you guys don't look at the overall team picture on the other team. So definitely work on like figuring out tabbing more so that you can see like what the other team is playing and then figuring out what to counter, because I think the DPS in general is one of the hardest roles to fill. Is the easiest to feel great about when you get the kills, but it's also just really hard in a team-based game because like you can't exactly be great at just one DPS hero. you really have to be great at all of them, because your only role is to just play the counter of what the enemy team is playing, unless you can somehow carry the team by just getting all the kills, which is not a likely situation. So identify the enemy's carries, and then change your DPS hero to go against them. And then healers, you guys just need to work on calling out when you guys are getting attacked, because right now, like, one of you guys would die, and then you would just say, like, sometimes you guys would just say, I'm down. That doesn't really help the team. Just make sure you really emphasize that your Moira, your Lucio is down. You're running 1 heals, so that they just know to either back off or to play more reserved. Other than that, I think you guys did really good. Yeah, I will hit up Franz about any other little issues, but I think this team has pretty good potential. Just need to work on the communications a little bit better. Alright, well, I hope that helped. See ya.